Based on the internationally beloved comic, The Adventures of Tintin follows a young reporter and his loyal dog as they become entangled in a globe-trotting mystery for lost pirate treasure.
Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg, and I'm here on Made in Hollywood. And Peter Jackson, my partner, and The Adventures of Tintin we're both excited to show you a small scene from our film. So here it is.
Secure the cargo.
Snowy, look at this. It was long claimed the ship was carrying a secret cargo.
I guess the first question is, you sort of came to this, and at least reached out to the author almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Why is now sort of the right time to...
Well, you know, in a way, fate and other projects that delayed me making Tintin sort of, I think, did a good deed, because we waited for a technology to evolve that Bob Zemeckis first created, my protege. I became his protege when he did Polar Express, and I watched how he did that, and then I became Jim Cameron's protege when Jim did Avatar, and I got to learn from Jim. And then the same animators did Avatar, turned around and began doing Tintin, so it was a good learning curve for me, but it was the only medium I wanted to tell the story in.
The model ship conceals a clue to one of the greatest secrets in all history.
The most important question is, please tell me what it's like to work with Mr. Steven Spielberg.
I don't think there's any like adjectives left unused by actors
Probably
who
not.
have worked with Steven. Let me try though. Steven is someone who has crafted my very early cinematic experiences. He made me go, wow, what is this thing called movies?
I love making films anyway, first and foremost, you know. But then when you get a chance to work with Steven Spielberg, who was, you know, he's an icon to me. He's you know, when I think about as a child growing up, I think about Steven and the films that he gave us.
He made me realize that movies can change people's lives, can change the world. You know, is a medium that is magical.
And come on!
Working with him, I consider it to be like a massive milestone in my very humble career.
I will find that ship, with or without your help.
Thanks. I'm Tintin, by the way.
Haddock. Archibald Haddock.
Probably would have been different because Peter Jackson might not have been involved. Tell me about how that sort of came about.
Well, I hired Peter Jackson's company to do some research and development on the Snowy character, and I wanted them to do a digital dog. And I wanted to see what a digital dog looked like in contrast to a live-action actor. And I said, just get somebody, put him in a Captain Haddock suit, and just to see what a digital dog looks like with a real person. This is when I was considering live action as a possibility. And what I didn't know was Peter Jackson put himself in the role of Captain Haddock, and a Captain Haddock, you know, captain's uniform, came out and did the entire test, drunk, by the way, or fake drunk, with this digital dog.
I'm sorry, just a little nervous.
And I wound up calling Peter, and I kept saying, you helped me make a decision, two decisions. The first decision, Peter, is it's going to look ridiculous in live action. I cannot make this movie live action. It'll be too stylized. And the second thing is, you need to be my partner.
Hello, Tintin!
Tintin is very much an achiever. Captain Haddock, played by Ann Serkis, very much an underachiever. And I think it's the unconventionality of that relationship that makes, I think, the movie so much more fun, because these people should not be together.
This isn't just a ship. He wants vengeance.
How big of a fan were you of the, you know, the graphic novels? And you know, that meant you were more looking forward to it, or what have you?
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand that over here, like, no one has any idea who the guy is, you know, which is fine. But like over in Europe, you know, I mean, we're talking about. Generationally speaking, this is something that is handed down. You cannot grow up without knowing who this guy is. People could just see the simplest line drawing of this character and know who he is.
You'd be eating your cereal on a Sunday morning, and from the TV room you'd hear The Adventures of Tintin. You'd, you know, leave the table and rush in to watch, you know, see what this 17-year-old boy with a pistol and a dog and no parents hanging out with an alcoholic sea captain was up to.
This is a very big deal. You know, to play the part was a kind of massive responsibility. And I've always been a fan of it, you know, since I was a kid.
Did you hit anything?
Oh dear.
one of the things I thought was there's so much that he does, it really only kind of works as an animated film, but it's your first real venture into it.
It is.
How different was this than your typical production?
Well, it was liberating for me because I could put my camera anywhere. And I could do sequences all in one take without a cut, a single cut. I could let the audience decide where to look because there were so many real-time scenes that they could just watch how the scenes evolve.
I think Stephen wanted the both of us because we have a kind of chemistry, you know. We spent 3 weeks with Cirque du Soleil before we shot.
Really?
Yeah, with a movement coach down in Santa Monica. So every day in a very, very small, hot studio, we would put on these jackets and our bowler hat and our umbrellas, and for probably 5 hours a day we would just walk around in perfect unison, and that's what we did for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Without the pressure of a whole crew and sets and a schedule, we were able to go into this kind of naked volume with everybody in motion capture, performance captured suits, and everybody relaxed. They just relaxed. So the comedy came more easily.
Never fear, TinTin. The evidence is safe with us. Thompson, where are you? Well, I'm already downstairs. Do try to keep up.
Obviously, being in this film period is a big deal, but then you have the responsibility of being Tintin himself. How did you prepare for that?
I went back to the books. I read all the books again. I started drawing him and stuff.
Oh, really?
I started really kind of closely identifying with the panels. I read a lot about Hergé, the creator of Tintin and stuff, and where he was when he wrote all the books. And you know, I just kind of got into the spirit of the character and the spirit of the books, which is, you know, very specific.
Made in Hollywood.